So Nathan, since Nosferatu's coming out Christmas Day, I figured we'd talk about the director's other films like The Witch, The Lighthouse, Northman, you know. I think some good
Wait,
picks.
you said it's coming out on Christmas Day?
Yeah, Nosferatu is. Yeah.
Is it a Christmas movie?
No. I don't know. I think Santa might be in it. Look, at the end of the day, we're going to see the movie, and we're going to talk about his other films, all right?
I got plans on Christmas.
Like what?
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 166. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves, to my left.
Thank you.
And today, we're going to be discussing the filmography of Robert Eggers ahead of his big film, Nosferatu.
I mean, it was a given. We were going to talk about Nosferatu at some point.
We are very excited to review that film, and that one will be coming as soon as the film comes out.
Yeah.
But let's talk about his filmography so far and why we're excited about Nosferatu.
Absolutely. I remember hearing about him making Nosferatu or wanting to make it since The Lighthouse. So it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute since he's been working on this film, and I think due to COVID, he had to delay it. Originally, I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was going to be in it, but it's actually Lily Rose Depp playing the wife of one of the characters' names. It's basically like a rip from the original 1922 film, like character names and everything, which I think is amazing because as much as I do like that film, it is 102 years old, and it's a silent film.
A film that maybe deserves a remake, unlike all these undeserved remakes that we've been getting.
The issue, though, is, and Robert Eggers has talked about it countless times, is it is a daunting task because everyone knows Nosferatu. It is the oldest viewable vampire film that you can watch because there were Dracula adaptations prior to this, but they've been long gone. They haven't been restored, whereas this one has. So you have that expectation, and I'm going to be honest, I think he's going to succeed pretty fucking well.
I think so, too. But you're right. I think it's his biggest and most ambitious project and has the most, quote-unquote, pressure to be good.
But yeah, getting into that, I want to talk about the other three films that he's directed, starting with The Witch.
3 for 3?
Yeah,
this guy doesn't miss. This motherfucker don't miss. In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
Yep.
You know that Snoop Dogg clip? The Witch. I watched this movie for the first time recently.
Hell yeah.
I cannot believe how good this movie is. This is one of the best horror movies ever made.
Yep.
It really is. It's simple as that. This is one of the best horror movies ever made. This is my kind of horror movie.
It's one that reminds me of like the pacing of The Shining.
Oh yeah.
But it has this, and this is the thing I liked about all of his films, is that his scripts are dialogue in like the dialogue isn't typical. It's very ye old English.
Yeah.
But you can still understand what the fuck they're saying and understand their motivations, who they are.
Because it's always a simple story.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? The dialogue, you're right. The dialogue is different out there at times, but the story is simple. So that contrasts well, and you can always understand what's going on.
And you are used to the environments as well.
Yeah.
I just found out he's also credited as like a production designer as well, and you can kind of tell throughout all of his directed films, at least, he has a lot of involvement when it comes to that. The Witch has so many symbols, so many moments of horror that aren't your typical horror. All right, it's not jump scare for the sake of it. It's literally like you just think about these images in your head and how it's done.
Wow, this is disturbing.
Yeah,
disturbing without the jump scares and the typical horror tropes. This movie is. I haven't stopped thinking about this one.
It's great
since I saw it, man.
The last shot too, with all the.
Oh my God.
The witches.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Like, what a great way to end the film. Another, we just talked about last shots in films with Honora.
Yeah.
And how few films have a very, very memorable last shot.
Yeah.
this is another one of those. Like, what a directorial debut. It is a film that seems like it's directed by a horror veteran.
Yeah. Right? It seems like, oh man, this guy probably is like what, in his 60s or 70s. He's
Yeah.
been doing it for a while. No, he was like in his 30s when he made this.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, and also the element of like historical accuracy.
Oh yeah.
How they take these like, you know, witch stories that people have wrote about back in the day and incorporate them. The use of religion as the horror.
Yeah.
Like the scene where the kid is possessed.
It's
It's one of the best horror scenes ever.
It's fucking crazy. I think this movie uses that angle much better than a movie like Longlegs does, and not because of the fact that I think it's execution. The execution was done far more sophisticated. Oh my god, I can't even say the fucking word. Yeah. It's done in a better way, guys, and that's what I remember from it. Also, Anya Taylor-Joy's performance is fucking incredible.
She's 18 years old in this film.
Yeah. Well, it was my introduction because of it was before like Queen's Gambit and shit, right?
Yeah, that's what I knew her from.
Right.
That's when I started like she was on my radar with Queen's Gambit. And since then she's been good in like every fucking thing she's in.
I don't know if this was her debut, but if so, then fucking wow.
Wow.
Debut
18
performance.
years old, like
Debut directing from Robert. It's like I'm just so impressed by it, and you kind of get this. Look, I'm not like an expert in history, or but from what I could tell, this is pretty good in terms of letting you into this world and kind of seeing like how the family operates, how the family like talks, and
And as far as like rewatchability, this movie is so rewatchable because I think that there's deeper themes hidden in this film, like other meanings to certain things that are going on here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Little hidden moments.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of those Easter eggs that are nods to history and stuff like that, or nods to like, this like devil worship stuff.
Yeah.
And signs of that. And I think on a rewatch, you can kind of notice those a little bit more. This is such a great film.
I fully agree. It's still my favorite from him. It's a great debut. It's one that really sticks out.
The nuance of like sin, temptation.
Yeah.
That's like the subtext of that stuff is, I think, something that you catch better in a rewatch. Because at first you're just so floored with like the family dynamics and visuals. Like, there's not a lot going on here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's the performances that you're engaged by. You're engaged by these characters and what they're going through, because what they're going through is fucking it's horrific. Yeah. It's so horrific, and little dialogue moments, little moments where it's like you're more focused on the visuals and seeing how they descend into madness.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part of this film. It's done in a way that a lot of people might look at it and be like, oh, this is boring. It's slow pace. I want to see Conjuring 5. And it's like, but this isn't that. It's one that's going to last longer in terms of its legacy. Like, people are going to watch this 20, 30 years from now and be like, yeah, it's just as good as when it came out.
This film will age like fine wine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is those little things that you can catch on a second, third watch. I really, really loved it.
Fucking
like, even the small stuff, like the father's like always cutting this wood.
Do you like that actor? I fucking love that
he's
actor,
so
man.
good.
That voice he has, holy shit.
He's incredible. Yeah, every line of dialogue he gives is like, he has this commanding bass in his voice.
I think it is the same actor from The Green Knight. The
He's
Knight.
the guy who plays the
That voice, yeah. Let me see. Is it the same guy?
His name
Ralph
is
Ineson.
Ralph Ineson.
Yeah.
William.
He's he obviously in The Green Knight he had makeup on and shit like that.
Right.
But that's his voice. That's that iconic deep voice.
I didn't make that connection.
Commanding, yeah.
But now, of course it is. Of course it is the same guy.
And that's the thing. That guy is going places because recently he, he's going to be in a Marvel film. He's going to voice Galactus.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I heard that. I'm like, fuck, am I going to watch? Yeah, I am. Because it's he's such a commanding actor, especially from The Witch and stuff. He was also in The Creator.
He was in The Creator. He's going to be in Nosferatu?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah, Ralph Ineson is definitely a standout of that movie.
really, really perfect. And just the look of the movie, like I don't know how much it cost.
Like the color and shit is like everything's like super muted, but it works.
Well, yeah, given the tone and
given
everything.
exactly the tone, the crops are not growing, everything's gray, this land is cursed.
Yeah. It works in this regard.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in a film like Wicked, where you're trying to get your vibrant colors and everything like that, and it looks fucking muted.
Yeah.
When you're talking about The Witch, you're talking about the subject matter this film is going for.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Can't recommend that film enough. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen The Witch and you're even like a semi-horror fan, like this movie is something different. You've never seen it before, and you will remember it.
Absolutely. It came out 9 years ago. Shit, man. Almost 10.
And then his second film, Balls of Steel, to make this your second film.
The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse.
Holy shit. I remember people talking about this night and day. This was the film of the year, at least amongst film kids.
Yeah.
They're like, Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe, they're drinking. This shit's crazy, man. What the fuck? And I think it's good.
I think it's great.
Yeah, you think it's great? I think it's good.
I think on a rewatch, I will love it even more.
Yeah.
This movie was an $11 million film.
A little more expensive. The
little
Witch
more
was $4 million.
Yeah. But, you know, another movie that, like, I have so many good things to say about. We could start with the cinematography.
Absolutely.
Balls of Steel to just be like,
Yeah.
changing the fucking aspect ratio. We're going black and white. We're doing one location, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's so brilliant. And it's just like these two guys going nuts.
Yeah. Going insane. Has similar themes to The Witch, but does it in a completely different environment, different characters.
Yeah.
Just an all-around different world, because you're dealing with more supernatural stuff, I would say, or maybe similar to The Witch with the mermaids and whatnot. This is relying heavily on performances, and it's done well because guess what? You have Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
I don't know how better you can get than that, but
And honestly, this is like one of Robert Pattinson's absolute best performances.
you think it's his best one? You're the Batman?
I love him. I love him as the Batman, but I don't think he does the craziest acting he's ever done in the Batman.
This is a lot
I think
more
this is a
crazy.
lot harder to do
I think so, yeah.
than playing. I haven't been outside in Halloween night.
More physically, I
Yeah.
would say you see more of it in this film.
His physical acting in this film is brilliant. When he's doing work, the labor, it just looks so real to me. You believe everything he's going through. Another one of those things where like you can read between the lines on his face and the way he's acting about how he really feels and what he's going through internally through his performance. I think it's brilliant. What I love about this movie is that it doesn't try to appeal to like this wide audience.
No.
It's not too pretentious. Like it's not like it's 4:3, it's black and white.
No.
But it's not trying to be this like artsy.
It does a
only-
lot of experimental filmmaking, but it's not pretentious.
It's not pretentious. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, this only works if you're this film bro artsy. Like it has fart jokes and shit in it.
yeah.
It has silly scenes.
It does.
And that's what I love about it is that it was able to do both and not just try to be this like artsy, oh, it's cool because it's different.
No. I think visually speaking, it's probably his most impressive one, to be
Yeah.
honest, because he's taking a lot of risks and chances with the filmmaking process. Obviously with the aspect ratio in black and white, but also the shots of the lighthouse and that whole sequence of him going insane and him going inside that lighthouse, the editing and whatnot.
The sound?
Sounds amazing too.
The
Yeah.
sound of that lighthouse, the sound of that siren that like pierces your ears throughout the film.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just get really into it. You just get really invested in these guys and what they're gonna do. I really was struck by this film. It's something I'd never seen before. I've never seen a film like this.
Yep. No, that's completely fair. I think out of the three, though, if I had to say, like, this might be, which, by the way, I love all these films still. I think they're all, would recommend everyone see them, at least give them a chance. I'd say The Lighthouse might be my least favorite of the three, mainly because of the fact that I felt more of the runtime in this, and I felt like there were moments that I felt more emotion from his previous film rather than this one. This one is way more simple than The Witch, in my opinion, in terms of storytelling. It's bare bone, like, okay, they're going fucking insane.
I agree. And I like The Witch more as well. But man, I had a lot of fun with this movie.
Hell
the
yeah.
performances, you're right. It is very much a film because it's so simple.
Yeah.
That it relies heavily on the performances. Luckily, there's two of the best actors.
Amazing.
Working.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe in this movie, like, holy shit, that guy can act. Like, this man needs to be talked about as one of the absolute best actors of all time.
I fully agree. He's still working. He's still going strong. Like,
So this got me so much more excited to see him in Nosferatu.
yeah.
Just by the trailer, he looks so good.
He's had this like amazing acting since To Live and Die in L.A. That was one of his earliest roles, and he's still been going for it.
I love his choice of films that he makes. Like, he has such a wide array of characters. He never really plays the same guy. He can play so many different kinds of guys.
Yeah. Good guy, bad guy, like crazy.
He's got a lot of faces in his pocket.
Yeah, man.
He does.
Yeah,
you know?
he does.
That's what I love about him, man. I'm so excited to see him in Nosferatu. Overall, The Lighthouse. We didn't do our rating for The Witch. What did you give?
Oh,
the
shit.
Final rating?
Probably 4 out of 5. 8 out of 10.
That's my rating as well.
It's
I
favorite.
wouldn't be surprised if it goes up with a rewatch, honestly, because I think there is. I only saw it once, and I think there is a lot of nuance, subtext, and themes that you don't catch on the first watch. So
Yeah.
brilliant. Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, I would probably give 6 or 7 out of 10. I gotta give it another rewatch though, because the last time I saw it, I saw The Witch and The Lighthouse with my parents.
Oh shit.
I'll tell this story real quick.
Yeah.
So The Witch, my dad sat through the whole movie and said, "Nope, not really, not good." And I was just like, "Damn." So I thought, you know what? The Lighthouse is out. I'll give it a chance. So my parents and we saw The Lighthouse. 10 minutes in, they left.
They were out.
They was just sitting on the couch and they're like, "Nope," and they walked up. I was like, "I'm giving this a chance because guess what? I'm invested." I think it was a part where it was like a shot of the seagull.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Nope, I'm done."
Look, I like it, but I also get that.
Yeah.
I could see how a lot of people are like, nope. I could see how a lot of people would not like this movie. But I love it.
I'd give it a chance.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. I think The Witch is more digestible than The Lighthouse is.
For sure. You know, as an audience, we get used to certain things happening in a movie
Yeah.
and expect a certain thing. And this film doesn't necessarily do that. And that turns off a lot of people. But you just gotta, you gotta try to open your mind to it and give it a chance for what it is. And I think you can appreciate the art of these two guys going crazy.
I fully agree.
The Northman.
Northman, okay, so this is insane because I found out recently how much The Northman cost. So we just talked about how The Witch was $4 million, Lighthouse was about $11 million. The Northman, $90 million.
Holy shit.
They gave him a big ass budget
Yeah.
to make this, and it shows.
And it shows, eh?
The movie, I saw this. I probably put it in the middle in terms of his filmography. I'd say I liked it more than The Lighthouse, but not as much as The Witch.
Hard to beat The Witch.
It has Hamlet-esque type of themes in its story. It's a revenge story.
Got it.
About a Northman, and Ethan Hawke is the father when he was a child, and he gets brutally murdered. And he's a child when he sees this, and he basically like strives to find this man and kill him. And while he's going on his journey, he meets Anya Taylor-Joy, who has these mythical powers that helps him out. It's his biggest scope that I've seen, and I'm just so impressed that a director like Robert Eggers has this movie now under his belt. To me, I just said that The Witch was the most digestible. I disagree. I think this is. If you like Game of Thrones, if you like that type of, you're gonna love this
This
film.
probably appeals to a wider audience because, again, like horror, especially like this like psychological horror, culty shit, doesn't really appeal to everyone. A story like this probably does,
like visually,
A revenge story.
Yeah, exactly. Revenge story. It's pretty simple in that regard. And to be honest, like my dad did watch this film, and he's like, "I loved it." You know, so if anything, this might be his most mainstream film. It is a shame though that this movie didn't make money out of the 3. This is his only flop.
That's
it
a
made
shame.
69 million over a 90 million budget. Apparently, it made its profit back through streaming, but still, it's tragic. Universal Pictures distributed it as well as Focus Features, so this is not A24.
Right.
A24 ain't giving $90 million budgets.
But a testament to Robert Eggers that, like, you know, showed so quickly how good of a filmmaker he is.
Yeah.
That by his 3rd film, they're giving him a $90 million budget.
And like the performances are great as always. Like Alexander Skarsgård, he's playing like a very barbaric man, and there's scenes where, you know, these Vikings are fighting. They're ripping people's faces off with their mouths, and it's like, god damn, like it's fucking brutal. So it's not like, it's PG-13, so we got to do this because the budget's big. It's like, no, they're slicing people's heads off, they're cutting each other, they're stabbing. It's like Game of Thrones in its movie form.
And I like that he likes to use some of the same actors where he can.
Yeah.
I always like when a director does that. You know, Scorsese's got his guys, Tarantino's got his guys, and I could see Robert Eggers, when it's all said and done, have his guys, his cast of people that he likes to put in his films. You know,
a lot of unexpected performances in this. Like Ethan Hawke obviously is great, but Bjork's in it too.
Wow.
Oh, she gives an insane performance as well. Willem Dafoe's in it as well. They're bringing in Willem Dafoe. Anya Taylor-Joy's back, and a few other newer additions to the film as well. But overall, like, it's a good time. Like, it's fucking awesome. It's one of those like action movies that, you know, it's not your typical like Clash of the Titans or like Gladiator. It's way more brutal. It's way more intense. I think, like I said before, people who like Game of Thrones and like that type of brutal violence with its history and its mythology, you're gonna fuck with this film. Like you're gonna love it. It's based off of Norse mythology, by the way. So, you know, he loves that side of history.
Yeah.
Early history of ye old English, that type of Viking.
And you could just tell in these movies, like, you know, neither of us are history majors.
No, exactly, yeah.
But you can tell with the details used that he spends a lot of time making sure it's as accurate as possible.
Absolutely. And I think that means something. We've talked about various directors who do a lot of research on their subject matter, like Michael Mann with a lot of military gun, all that stuff. It's the exact same with this, except in a completely different historical way.
It translates to believability, even if you don't know about it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what outfits they were wearing at that time or what the average house would look like, but when I see it in this film, it looks right because it is.
Yes, exactly.
And there's something about that.
Yeah, it's not like if you notice inaccuracies, it's more due to the fact that the film itself isn't putting as much work as it should.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, and you don't get that from any of his 3 films at all. They all have different time periods that show what it was like during that time, and he says these are what these characters are going through now. And he's able to do it in such a beautiful way. The storytelling, the pacing, I just gotta say, like, it's all really well done.
Yeah,
and
extremely polished, like
yeah,
every detail.
And it's more so because a lot of people compared him to another A24 director, Ari Aster. And I do like Ari Aster's work. I just feel like, longevity speaking, his films have this old-timey tale to them that will last longer in the grand scheme of things. Whereas I watch a movie like Hereditary, I fucking love that movie.
Me too.
Or Midsummer. But they all have that setting of modern day, and this doesn't.
Yeah.
This is its own thing, and I kind of resonate with it more, despite the fact that I wasn't there during the time period.
I know what you mean. I think
Yeah.
these films age better. So which of his films do you think will age the best?
Mainstream wise, I think more people are looking at the Northman, but I really think Lighthouse and The Witch are going to get more spotlight in the mainstream once Nosferatu comes out. Because people are going to, if Nosferatu does really well, like, I'm not just talking Oscar noms, I'm talking money.
Which is looking like it could. What do you think about a Christmas Day release? Like,
fuck, man, it's
I
tough.
don't know if I like a Christmas Day release.
It's tough, but I know I can understand studios looking at it because movies like The Hobbit came out during Christmas time, made bank. The Star Wars sequel trilogy, they gave up on the summer releases for those, and they made money.
But is that the same though? It's that's huge IP.
Yeah.
And I get it. Nosferatu, well known, everybody knows. But do they know it? Like, is it like the whole family is off for whole family's off for Christmas break? Let's go watch The Hobbit. Let's go watch Star Wars. Let's go watch Nosferatu. I'm not sure about that.
I kind of get where you're coming from. I don't know why they released it Christmas. It seems like an October, September release.
Yeah.
Personally, because of the subject matter, and Nosferatu is more affiliated with Halloween.
I think this would have dominated October. There wasn't really a huge Halloween release. I don't think.
Aside from Beetlejuice 2 getting the
2,
second, third weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I if it doesn't make money, like I think more people are gonna be like, ugh, what's this type of thing? Even though the advertising is so fucking good. All the trailers I've seen from Nosferatu,
Brilliant.
It's like you get these beautiful shots of like the shadow of his hand and stuff like that. Lily Rose Depp's performance
Only gets me more excited and doesn't give away much.
No, it doesn't. Even if you know the story, by the way, which I'd highly recommend watching the 1922 film. Like, I get it. It's a silent movie. It's going to have its moments. But in terms of its visual storytelling, you see a lot of instances where it's like, oh, like that infamous shot where he like lifts himself up. It's like, that's shocking when you see it because of how the whole movie is paced. And, Bill Skarsgård is going to be playing Count Orlok. That's perfect casting. All these actors that are in this film, I feel like are perfect castings for the characters that they're playing, at least from what I saw from the original film.
Yeah.
So,
and when you look at his track record of casting, which he's done brilliantly in his film so far, I think there's no doubt that it's going to be great casting. Aside from Nosferatu, what is a genre that you'd like to see Robert Eggers explore in the future? Something different.
oh man, imagine if he did crime.
Crime would be sick.
Because we've seen so many crime movies. Like
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for what is it, Den of Thieves or something like that, like a Gerard
Den of
Butler.
Thieves 2, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, imagine like you get Gerard Butler in one of these movies, or at least Robert Eggers directs him, and he's just like, we're gonna do a crime film, but we're gonna do it this way. It's not gonna be like Fincher. It's not gonna be like these other fucking movies. I'm going like 1920s. Like
I think
Great Depression.
Sure, that would
crime.
be really cool.
Yeah.
And it's something that we don't really have a comparable for.
Right?
It's a gap in the market.
Maybe
You're right.
you look at the Peaky Blinders aesthetic, but it's like, no. Maybe more authentic. Than that.
Exactly. A little different. I want to see him try something modern day. I want to see how he would take
Ooh,
that. Because
okay.
you're right. He is known for this like old English, ye old English kind of style. And I want to see what he could do with a modern day film. I think that would be interesting.
You know what? Scratch that with Gerard Butler. You know who he should direct? Cillian Murphy.
Yes.
Get Cillian Murphy on this.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Oh,
You're cooking with that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be fucking insane.
All right. Let us know your favorite Robert Eggers film in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to your boys. It means the world to us. And most importantly, do not forget to take care, brush your hair.
Peace.